What's up guys, it's Roostic, and today I'm coming at you with 5 tips that will instantly improve your fight scenes. This will apply to both filmmakers and performers and even editors. You can take one of them or you could take all of them depending on which part of the process you're involved with, and hopefully make your next fight scene better. Now, I have a whole series of fight scene tutorials that's also on this channel, so if you want me to go more in depth on some of these things, you can find that information there. Okay guys, so the very first tip, most of you probably already use this, and it's called stacking. I've actually made a tutorial about this. It's my very first fight scene tutorial. This is actually what makes fight scenes work. It's the logical aspect of what makes an impact sell on a camera. So I do see some fight scenes that are sent to me or just that kind of float around on the internet where people will just put a sound effect over a shot that doesn't actually have a stacked hit, like somebody's getting punched, but you can totally see a miss, right? So the very first actionable tip is make sure that everything stacks. Look back at your footage when you're filming it or you're walking in for the camera, make sure that it's stacked properly. But if you want a more in-depth conversation about this, go check out my tutorial on stacking. Next tip is to make sure you are showing the action that's happening. A lot of people want to try and emulate what we see on the screen, and sometimes that's like these long takes that have like 10, 15 moves per shot, where when we're starting out, we would be better served to go smaller and actually show more of what's happening by shot. And the way you do that is to break down your choreography to literally 1 to 3 moves per shot. Try to do that in your next fight. If you're on camera or you're directing, try to do like a whole scene where it's broken down. This is actually a tip that I got really inspired by Kingsman. And if you watch like any of the Kingsman fights, they're very precise. Like for example, in the bar, like you get little inserts and close-ups on all the little pieces of action that's happening. Meaning if there's like 5 or 6 moves and you're shooting them all in the wide, that might be cool, but like you're gonna miss little opportunities to show the audience like, oh wait, this guy pulls a knife out right here. So you can literally just show insert, boom, knife coming out, boom, out of the frame. The other character responding to seeing that knife come out, oh my god, and starting to dodge. Basically breaking down your choreography, really taking the time to think about showing and not just taking shortcuts and just trying to do these like long takes, right? Break down your choreography, break down your action, and really show the audience what's happening with little tiny shots. All right guys, so tip number 3 for performers out there, to remember to act. A lot of fight scenes have really cool moves, right? The design is cool. It's like they're doing tricks, they're doing cool camera movements, but sometimes you just don't feel it. The intensity is not there, right? And as an action performer, you need to take the choreography, which is basically like lines in a script, right? If you read the lines in a script and you just read them, you're not acting, it's gonna be very bland, very boring. But if you take the lines in a script and you mean them, like why is every move happening? Try to bring that out. One of the biggest tips that I would say is vocalizing. This is one of the biggest things that I see missing from indie fight scenes sometimes. And also one of the first things that you can do is pretty easy. Just start vocalizing, yelling, ah, ah, ah. Somebody gets hit in the stomach, you're not just gonna be all quiet, you're gonna feel it, right? And if you vocalize, even if you don't have any lines, you can kind of help the audience feel what is happening within the action. Another quick tip would be to really think about the character that you're playing. Once you learn the choreography, take the extra time to just step back for a second, get into that character. Is this character big? Is this character small? Are they getting attacked? Are they on the attack? Are they supposed to be scared? Are they supposed to be angry? Like really get into that mode. And if there's no direction coming to you and not telling you like what is that supposed to be, just pick something. It's really fun to just pick a way of being in fight choreography and then try that out for a scene. So guys, tip number 3 is to remember to be acting, to bring intensity to your fights and vocalize. So tip number 4 actually applies to all of the performers, and that includes the camera. What I call this is the pausing walkthrough. We all know we're supposed to walk through a choreography for the camera so the camera can see what's happening and it can decide what the best angle is for this move here and this move here and maybe this move here. But sometimes as a person filming, like when you're on camera and you're having your performers walk the choreography for you, if you're new to the choreography, you're just seeing it for like the first time, it might be hard to really like understand what's going on, and you will want to, as a camera person, to just get kind of like in the general area of what's happening. Whereas this right here is a slow motion walkthrough where you pause. And this is, I did this recently on a fight I was shooting for someone and it really helped me out. Basically the way you do this is you have 2, 3, 4 moves you're going to be getting in your shot. Remember, because you're going to break it down into smaller pieces. Let's say it's 4 moves. And you're going to have the performers go through the choreography for you while you're looking at your monitor, and they're going to pause literally on every move. So if it's like a hit and a block, they're going to pause automatically until you say go. So it's literally just like, boom, they pause, you find your frame. Once you have it memorized, you're like, okay, cool, go. And then boom, that looks cool, go, go. And then once you do that once, do it again. And then you're gonna start memorizing what the pattern of your camera move should be. And the performers will also be able to work with each other for the particular shot. And you can make any of the adjustments you want right there. So to summarize this point, once again, it is to do the pausing walkthrough versus just trying to capture what you can and move on. Really breaking it down to pausing it and freezing in space and until you're ready for the next shot. And then, obviously work your way up in speed, have them do a quarter speed walkthrough, half speed walkthrough, and then shoot. And bonus tip right here, because tip number 5 is going to be about editing. Remember to think about this if you're performing or you're on camera and something's just quite not right. Always remember, you can look down at your feet. Footwork is very important, and it can actually put you in the right position, or it can be really awkward. Whether you're trying to throw a punch in a weird position or you're on camera and just can't get to somewhere, think of your feet. Like, try to be a little bit ahead of the choreography with your feet. So if you're gotta throw a punch from this weird position, half a move before that, try to set your feet properly so you're ready where you need to be. Because a lot of times, as we're focusing on the upper body and we're filming fights and all that kind of stuff, we're not really focused on the footwork. So you can literally move around, really learn some stances, and help yourself to look stronger by really like figuring out your footwork. And I could do a more in-depth video about this in the future, but I do have a video that talks about footwork. Go check that out as well. And also, this applies to camera people too. Chris Cohen, shout out, go check him out. He did the UALA fight, which I did a breakdown on. If you watch him shoot, he actually is doing like martial arts stances. He'll literally be like in a wide stance, have his hand out here, and he'll be able to move, get low, get high, get anywhere he needs to be because his legs are strong. He got good footwork. And your footwork can fix any issues you have in choreography about like 90% of the time. So tip number 5 is for the editors out there. This is an actionable tip you can do from here on out, and that is to try cutting frames. I know I haven't really made a tutorial about this yet, but the basic concept is this. If you're filming something and, for example, there's like a block and a punch, and for some reason when you filmed it on the day, it was slower than you expected, right? Whether that is because the performers just couldn't do it, maybe it was like an actor, maybe somebody had an injury or something, or maybe you guys decided to do it that way, because you can also film a little bit slower and then speed them up in post, right? So instead of just taking that whole clip and speeding it up 120%, it'll look kind of fake. But the trick is actually to cut frames, so that way you're not actually speeding up a whole clip. You're just dropping a couple of the pictures. You're deciding as the filmmaker which frame to cut out and then leaving the rest. So it actually gives the illusion that they're moving at normal speed, but they look way faster. I'll do a whole tutorial on this in the future, but just the basic concept is you want to cut out the space in between the fast parts of the motion and the impact. You don't want to speed up the whole thing where it's like block, speed, hit. You want to speed up maybe block and that pause in between the next starting of the movement. You want to take out a little bit of that pause. So I would probably, you have the block happen, boom, cut like 1 or 2 frames from the pause, and then have the motion start. And then if the fist is coming, maybe the fist took too long to get there, so cut like a frame out of like the middle so that it gets there faster. So instead of going boom, boom, you got poof, poof, right? You like my sound effects? Let's go, let's recap these tips really quickly. So we got number 1, remember to stack everything correctly. This is logical. If you don't have good stacking, you don't have a good fight. It doesn't make sense. Number 2, break down your choreography into smaller pieces. Really show what's going on. Use more inserts. Number 3, remember to vocalize and act. Put emotion into your choreography. You're not just reading lines from a script, you're actually acting with your body. And then we got number 4, which is the pausing walkthrough. That is the top secret tip. Not just a slow motion walkthrough, but a walkthrough where people pause at every move and they don't go until the camera finds what they want to look at, and then they say next. And then, you work your way up from there in speed. Number 4.5 was the footwork. Remember, you can always fix something that feels weird in your body by looking at your feet, like 95% of the time. And the last one, number 5, I guess it'll be 6 because we had the bonus one, is to try cutting frames. Let me know if you guys would like a tutorial on that, but that about wraps it up for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you learned something new. If you want me to make more videos like this, I'd like to, start making some content again. I really enjoyed, making videos when I was doing it, but I just haven't had the time recently. But maybe if I can find a format like this, like 5 quick tips or whatever, I'd love to give you guys more knowledge if you want to know. Let me know if you found any of these tips useful. Try them out. Let me know how it goes for you. Subscribe, hit the bell, go check out my other tutorials. I have a whole playlist of them and a whole playlist of breakdowns. And I'm not sure if you guys know this, but I actually have like 20 podcasts with some really good action filmmakers and performers that I did back during quarantine. So go check those out. I'll drop the links in the description. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.